Hello, everybody. This is Michael Robbins, and I'm substituting for Tuya at this moment. We have quite an evening coming up. As you know, there is an important vote taking place in the United Kingdom in the so-called Brexit process, the exit of England and the United Kingdom, really, as very much a part of Europe from the European Union. Well, we who are presenting this broadcast in just an hour and a half or so feel that that is ill-advised and against the intention of the unitive vision of Master Rákóczi, Master R, who is the regent of Europe and also the regent of the United States, where the separatism of its own kind is rearing its ugly head. So we're going to have a little discussion at 9:30 our time. It'll be 7:30 GMT, and probably most of you have received the link. I'm not able to put the link on this YouTube chat because they won't allow links, but just write to me, infinitize8@gmail.com, with one dot, after gmail.com, and I'll answer you quickly and send the link to you if you don't already have it. Well, this is an important meditation, of course, the attracting of resources, financial resources, for the work of the hierarchy. You know, we might wonder why the Christ doesn't just appear on a white horse as an all-conquering Savior, and the hierarchy just take everything in hand and make it easy for humanity. But we've seen from the Roerich painting Christ in the Desert that the Christ drawing in the sand, apparently in the presence of Master Moria, who was also maybe secretly present in that whole process. The mantra there is by human hands and by human feet. We have to undertake our responsibility, including generating the resources by which, or through which, the hierarchy and the Christ can appear and make their spiritual work effective. They don't take out of our hands what we can do and should do for ourselves. Some of you have been looking at the first 15 minutes here, where we simply give some slides that tell us the method of how to proceed. We know that we have to save from week to week, however we do that. We have to shoulder our responsibility. The Tibetan begs us to do that. And he says that this is such a meditation of great potency that when used by people of all faiths can aid in the process of averting war. Well, he did speak of the possibility of war even after, at the close of his writing. But maybe, well, we cannot say whether that possibility has been foreclosed. We have to act as if it is very real. We're supposed to distribute the book, The Problems of Humanity, and it has been, kind of updated, I think, by Jan Nation when she was working there at the Lucis Trust in London. And so a number of the problems that beset humanity at this time are laid out in a convincing manner. And we have to, as servers, participate at least in the alleviation of one of those problems. This whole process calls for sacrifice, says the Tibetan, for it calls for the expenditure of money. Even the hierarchy works through normal channels and needs money, and even the Christ has need of financial resources in order to reach the needy sons of men. I ask your aid, and I await your decision. Well, it's a major difficulty. The financial part is a major difficulty. DK says so here. It appears to many at times to be an insuperable difficulty. It involves the problem of true financial trusteeship and the deflection of adequate sums of money into the channels which will definitely aid the work of preparation for the return of the Christ. It is closely tied up with the problem of right human relations. He advises us, don't think that this is just a simple, futile meditation. If used by many simultaneously, and that's one of our objectives in this Ask program, to have more and more people participate in the use of these simple meditations, simple but deep. Used by many simultaneously, it may shatter the impasse which at present prevents adequate sums pouring into the work which the hierarchy seeks to accomplish. We do this, every Sunday on the Day of the Sun, maybe symbolizing, the sun symbolizes many things, but the flowing golden substance which prana is, money is basically concretized energy. We can't all do this on a Sunday morning. We vary the meditation times, morning and evening, so that it can be convenient at least half the time for people. So we take what we've saved the previous week and we dedicate it to the work. We present it in meditation to the Christ, and this is an important point, whether the sum is large or small, it can prove an attractive and magnetic unit in the Master's work. So we'll not have a long meditation here because we are preparing for the work in the Brexit process. You know, he did tell us that the United States, United Kingdom, and Russia were three great countries, melting pots, fusions of many different types of people, and in their hands would eventually lie the destiny of humanity. So we have to make sure that these tendencies towards separation, you know, the Black Lodge divides and the White Lodge unifies. These separative materialistic tendencies are seen through the glamour that they are and eliminated. And whatever happens in this vote, we continue, we students of esotericism, we continue to work for the unity, which is the way that hierarchy works, and which is behind the efforts of the Master R as regent of both of United States and UK. Okay, friends, let's go on. So, the very first idea: to those who give shall be given, so that they may give again. The amazing thing is, this following mantra, to those who give all is given. Let's ponder that for a few moments. By our giving, and especially our selfless and generous giving, we create a vacuum into which the great sources of supply can flow, so that we can continue the beneficent outflow and give what is needed to the needy members of humanity. So let's achieve a positive and intended personality quietness, realizing that we are the consciousness, the being consciousness behind what we normally call the personality. And what that means is, if the personality were to completely disintegrate and disappear, we, in spiritual fullness, would continue to exist. So we formulate clearly to ourselves the answer, our answer, that is, to the following questions. If money is one of the most important things needed today for spiritual work, what is the factor which is at present deflecting it away from the work of the hierarchy? Well, there are many possible answers, but let me summarize something that has occurred to me. It is the mistake of thinking that the effect is the cause. is a spiritual being. We are causative, and the personality is simply an effect. But if we give all our attention to the satisfaction of personality, desires, and tendencies, we are dealing with secondary matters and never find ourselves behind the effect. We go on. What is my personal attitude towards money? Do I regard it as a great and possible spiritual asset, or do I think of it in material terms? Further, what is my personal responsibility in regard to money which passes through my hands? You know, this great stream of flowing golden substance can be directed where we, humanity, desire and wish to direct it. So the responsible way is to materialize, manifest those circumstances which are in line with the plan. Everything else is just secondary and even wasteful in such critical times. So am I handling money as a disciple of the Masters should handle it? There is a Hydra representing the ninefold major negativity of every personality that is not thoroughly redeemed. And one of those heads associated with physical plane living is the head involving the wrong use of money. And it's a great glamour. It's been called even a gigantic glamour. Some would sell out the best human values to have this symbol of power and the fulfillment of desire, to have money. So, study yourself honestly and see clearly. Does this Hydra head have any power over you, and if so, in what way or ways? Can we make a plan that helps us overcome this glamorous power? Surely there is a way that each of us can take steps to overcome any negativity with regard to the understanding of money and the use of money. We really need to blend the third and second aspects of divinity, and that's happening on our planet, and money is of the third aspect, and love, unity are of the second aspect, whatever it takes. So we ponder on the redemption of humanity through the right use of money. And what that really involves, you know, is money for light, money for love and unity, and money to manifest the will of our hierarchy and our planetary logos. We think about money as concretized energy, but at present it's largely used for material purposes and for the satisfaction, where the individual is concerned, of purely personal desires. Try to see that this is the case. However, we can also visualize money as a great stream of flowing golden substance passing out of the control of the forces of materialism and into the control of the forces of light. And all of this is beautifully possible. Aquarius is a sign into which we are making our entrance, and there's a lot to do with bringing heaven to earth, especially because it appears along with a great seventh ray cycle. So we can indeed bring into concrete expression, material expression, the higher possibilities that we've not yet succeeded in materializing. We're going to say the following invocative prayer with focused mental concentration and from a heartfelt desire to meet spiritual demands. I simply must say it in English, and those who are Finnish, you have it written here. O Thou, in whom we live and move and have our being, the power that can make all things new, turn to spiritual purposes the money in the world. Touch the hearts of men everywhere, so that they may give to the work of the hierarchy that which has hitherto been given to material satisfaction. The new group of world servers needs money in large quantities. I ask that the needed vast sums may be made available. May this potent energy of thine be in the hands of the forces of light. And then we visualize the work to be done by those groups of which we know and which claim our present allegiance. Any group that you know about that is attempting to carry out the hierarchical plan. Of course, there are many groups we don't know about, so many, but each one of us deals with what we know. And through the creative imagination and by an act of the will, we see untold and unlimited sums of money pouring into the hands of those who seek to do the Master's work. The initiates, the disciples who seek to do the Master's work. We surely can redirect the flow of concretized energy into the right channels. And being students of esotericism, we know something of these channels. so that the third use of the third aspect of divinity may be redeemed. Then we say aloud with conviction and with emphasis, realizing that it is true. He for whom the whole world waits has said that whatsoever shall be asked in his name, and with faith in the response, will see it accomplished. We have to remember that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Faith puts us in touch with this substance, and it points to the reality of all those good energies and patterns which are not seen. This is not blind faith. Now, we're going to ask the money for whatever group, organization, process we deem worthy. So, we say and we think, I ask for the needed money for, and you fill in. And I can demand this needed money because from the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. In other words, it really is in our hands, and as the Lord Maitreya has said, by human hands and human feet. So in your imagination, prepare to give your offering to the Christ and his hierarchy. We are gathered in the presence of the Lord Maitreya. He is real. He's on this planet. His hierarchy is real. They are on this planet. and they are great sources of inspiration for us so we can learn to live the higher life and really be really useful in expressing the plan. And then we will say together, in the presence of the great Lord, remembering that wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, there He is. And surely we are gathered in His name. We say, we have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya. Be with us. And at first, in your imagination, offer the money you have saved during the previous week and see it through. And we will close with a careful consideration of our responsibility to the plan, both subjective and objective, and plan our weekly financial cooperation with the Christ in His hierarchy. And we know, being practical and realistic, that if we do not give, we may not ask. For we have no right to evoke that which we do not share. So we plan what we can give and how we can give. We attempt to feel true love sweeping through us, and each one of us has the fixed intention to express this love to all whom we may contact. It is the great, attractive, and selfless agent in world affairs. keep an accurate record. We think of the groups that need our help. We think of those who are advancing the divine plan in various ways. There are so many worthy groups doing the Master's work. And of course, we being students of esotericism, we must find ways to advance the esoteric work about which people know so little so far. We will sound the Om 3 times, precipitating love into the worlds of the threefold personality, the lower 18 subplanes which are so much in need of redemption. Well, friends, we want to thank you for being with us in meditation. Now, please bear in mind that a very important meditation is upcoming, having to do with the crisis, political and economic crisis in the United Kingdom, which is one of those assemblies of countries that are going to be so important in shaping humanity's destiny. So, for all of us these days, these 6.5 years or so, it's a question of whether selfishness will win, as is so often the case, or whether as humanity we can really break through and care about each other and care about our planet and all the kingdoms of nature. And esoterically, that's what we work for. When we're offering this Ask group of programs, we are invoking the manifestation of the divine plan, and we're using the meditations that DK has given us and some inventions of our own here, and we're very happy to have your participation. So, as I said, if you have not received, as you do make sure that you are on the constant contact list of the Moria Federation. Then you'll receive everything in terms of what we're all doing. But if you feel you may not have received the link for the upcoming webinar, that's what it is, which is going to start at 7:30 GMT. If you feel you haven't received that, or know you haven't received it, then just write me to my email address. I'll stay alert on that for a little while here, and I'll send the link back to you so you can join with Tuya and with me and with Alex Radcliffe, who's right there in the thick of the United Kingdom process, and we'll have a chance to talk about it and discuss it, and then be present the next couple of days via broadcasts for the debates and deliberations and the eventual vote at 7 p.m. GMT on Tuesday. It's important in order to help overcome selfishness and disunification. Your donations are always welcome, and we have great gratitude for your donations when they come to support the Moria Federation, the University of Seven Rays, the Seven Ray Institute, and so forth. And there are many, other, of course, worthy possibilities to which to donate: Arcane School, School of Esoteric Studies, Meditation Mount, all these trying to bring out the Tibetans' teaching. And we have many units of service out there that need to be sustained. Well, you know the need. We're learning how to invoke. We're participating in triangles to bring in the triangular soul beneath the square of personality, and thus transform our lives etherically, personally, and eventually transform the etheric body of the planet. The Blue Rose Sisterhood is beautiful for gathering the Christ consciousness in the chalice. Each of us has a chalice, is a chalice, and we seek real experience through the Blue Rose Sisterhood, which includes men too, as Shiva brothers. The Christ consciousness becomes real to us. That's our goal. In the Moria Federation, if you want a deep education in esotericism, we're ready to offer it with a curriculum based upon the Tibetans' curriculum for the new esoteric schools. And the University of the Seven Rays sort of hovers above all this as the original educative organization and the legal body behind everything. Harold Moses and I have provided music for you, which is music dealing with the expression of the ageless wisdom at the time of the full moons and also at other times. So you see the email addresses there, and you can you can tune in on YouTube, and you can hear the Solar Fire festivals, or you can write to myself or to Harold. And we have a beautiful piece about Maitreya from the White Lotus group there. And finally, simply a thank you to all of you for attending, and we hope to see you in a little while. Let's see, 9:30, 7:30. I guess it's about 6:45 right now, and at 7:30 GMT we'll be there with our webinar, and I guess 100 people are allowed. We'll see if 100 people show up. Thank you for everything, and the next few days will be dedicated to the process going on in the UK, and we will resume again on Wednesday with the triangles work. That will be the morning schedule. Okay, many blessings, lots of love from Tuya and from me and from all of our cooperators.